Well, hey kids, and happy Memorial Day, and welcome to another edition of Deep Roots TV. Still got it, still got some things to do to it, so every time we meet or talk, we'll have this until I bring it to you this fall. So, since the last time we talked, I finished up the cable management boxes, and I wanted to just show you what I've done. You followed me throughout the whole process, but the finishing process where you actually put the finishing on, it's just too tedious to show you. It's not that it's hard to do, but it's just going back and forth, and I'll describe it to you though. So anyway, I did the lids, as you can see, and I decided to make those a little understated. I did that on purpose. I think we've got some pretty sharp, and what I mean by sharp is very prominent corners here. So we have some really nice design features, and those in juxtaposition to what we have here with these circles. So there's two different design elements going on there, but you don't want to get it so busy and looking so just like it really didn't come together. So the more I played with it, the more I decided just to go with a simple top. I built a little rabbit so it sinks down in here really nice and tight. And then I put a chamfer on it, but just a really light chamfer to kind of match these chamfers. When I did it, I cut it so that it's a nice tight fit, because I don't want the cables, if they get pulled, to be, the top being popping off and that kind of thing. I gave a look, it's pretty tight right now, it'll be a little bit looser in the winter time, but it's still going to fit really nicely. Same with this one. Did the same process, just, there we go, down in place. So as you can see now, this one's walnut and this one is the sapelli. So these are the two colors that you all chose, and I'm going to deliver these to the customer tomorrow, and they're really excited to get them. So thank you for your help. Now, last thing, what did I do about putting the finish on them? These aren't going to get used a lot. I mean, they're going to be used all the time, but they are getting moved a lot. They're not being picked up and played with, so I wanted to have some protection, but I didn't want it to, it didn't need to be elaborate. So what I basically did is take the finish I told you I was going to use, the Enduro VAR by General Finishes. It's a water-based finish, so it's very easy for cleanup. If you get a little bit of a glob somewhere, it's easy to clean it off. So that's good. It also doesn't have any VOCs. So it's safer for me to breathe. I don't need to have as much of a mask on. So you still want to be careful like with any other finish, but it's water-based, and so that makes it great to work with. It also dries pretty fast. So I can do a couple of 3 coats in a day with sanding in between. And that's what I did, is I would put the first coat on, and after it dried, I took some 220 grit sandpaper. It's very light, and just kind of, and this is on the boxes as well, just kind of made sure there were no nubs. I want to make sure it was smooth. Put a second coat on, came back and took 320 sandpaper to it, and then put the final coat on, and I checked it, and it feels really good. Again, it's not going to be touched every day, so I wasn't as worried about the surface being silky smooth, but I still want it to be nice and comfortable to the touch. So I think they came out great. I really like them, and we may make some more of these down the line. But anyway, I wanted to show those to you. Now, what else has happened since we last talked is that I started beefing up my shop a little bit. As I told you, beginning in the 1st of July, I'll be doing woodworking pretty much full time. I'll still be working at the museum a couple of days a week, but I'm going to be kind of launching this for the rest of my life, which is something I've been wanting to do anyway. So I've been buying some new equipment. You're going to see that. Most all of it's power equipment, although I've got a spoke shave and a couple other pieces of hand tools coming as well. I'm a hybrid woodworker. I love working with hand tools. They're my precision tools. They're my get it right there just right tools. They're my dovetail cutting tools, that type of thing. But when you're doing you've got several projects and customers wanting you to build more for them, you need to be efficient as well. So I'm running a business at the same time, so I do all the grunt work with machines. We talked about that. But I picked up a couple of new machines, a new sander. I was getting concerned my other sander was just creating too much dust, even with a vacuum. So I bought a new vacuum and I bought a new sander. So I'm going to use those. Thing I like the most that I got, and they just gave this to me for free. It's a company called Festool that I do a lot of equipment with. But this is a pencil, and it's actually graphite, and so it's nice and thick, and it's really nice to work with. It leaves a really nice mark on your project board. But the other cool thing is it has a built-in sharpener, so if it doesn't look sharp enough, all I got to do is take it right there, sharpen it, put it back in my apron, and I'm ready to go. So this is one of the coolest things I got. So I'm a geek. I like pencils. Anyway, so that's what's happened. Now, this is the last video in this series. Tuck just came in to visit us. It's the last video in this series, but don't think I'm not going to do some more videos. I've got a couple of projects going on, so when I get to really interesting parts of those, I may just stop and do a little bit of a video for you. But I hope we'll have a Zoom meeting sometime in June so that we can kind of talk about what we're going to do in the fall and kind of projects you'd like to do. And and I'll have some new things. There's new things I get created in here, some new tools that come in that I think you'd get a kick out of. I'll make sure to film something for you. Anyway, I hope you had a great Memorial Day. I really enjoyed doing this for you. Please, you can keep going to my Facebook page. If it's okay with your parents, you make sure you get their permission before you go anywhere on the internet. Okay? So I want you to make sure you have their permission. But if they want you, if it's okay with them, you can go to my Facebook page, and I'm always putting new pictures of what projects I'm working on there, so you can keep up with me that way. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun. I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye.